pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Thursday, May 12, 2022. Roselle Park Borough has set up its plan for some very special community events, so pay attention and make sure you get out there to share in the celebrations and strengthen the bonds of the community. Callie has the details.
On Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th, the Borough of Roselle Park will host its annual Memorial Day celebration. It includes a parade, a service, and a summer kickoff picnic. Lineup for the parade begins at 9 a.m., with the parade stepping off an hour later. It will be led by the Roselle Park Police Department and Newark Mounted Police. Also participating in the parade are Roselle Park American Legion Post 60 and the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of Roselle Park. City leaders and members of the Roselle Park Board of Education are also taking part, as will marching bands from the Roselle Park School District. Stephen C. Jordan will be the parade's Grand Marshal. The parade's route goes along the East Grant Avenue corridor to Chestnut Street. It then turns right into Chestnut Street and ultimately ends at Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library, where an outdoor service will be held. After the service, a summer kickoff picnic will be held at the Casano Community Center. Additionally, Roselle Park is planning a pride flag raising ceremony on Saturday, June 4th. The event will be held from noon to 1 p.m. at Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library. There will be a Pride Month proclamation and free ice cream. Guests will hear from Rebecca Williams, chairperson of the Union County Board of County Commissioners. The event is part of Pride Month, which is in June. It is the 52nd anniversary of the first Pride Parade in New York City.
Foot Locker, the major retail chain that provides athletic apparel and sports-related products, is making a move to expand its shoe supplies now that Nike has changed its marketing and retail plans. Let's go to Cooper for the latest information.
Popular footwear retailer Foot Locker will now lead Adidas basketball lines, including lifestyle and performance categories and key regional sneaker collections. The retailer will also help launch Adidas' new sportswear division. This move came on the heels of another big change for the company. Earlier this year, Foot Locker announced it would have fewer Nike products in stores. Nike has been cutting ties with some of the nation's largest shoe retailers to make more direct-to-customer business approach. Thus, Foot Locker set a motion to plan strengthen existing relationships to fill Nike's void. We are excited to build our partnership with Adidas as we continue our strategy to broaden our selection of footwear and apparel for the sport and sneaker communities, Foot Locker Chairman and CEO Richard A. Johnson said. The company has also planned in 2021 to close most of the Footication stores, since the number of Footication locations have been dwindled from 272 to 34 stores nationwide.
Now it's time for announcements. Joe's Rotisserie is hiring dishwashers and someone to answer the phone and take orders. Please call Joan at 917-669-7636 for more info or an in-person to fill out an application at 547 Westfield Ave, Roselle Park. Attention students, CNN 10 is looking for original artwork featuring the number 10 to use in their new show opening. They are particularly interested in creative 10s that illustrate something cool about the place where you live. If you'd like to contribute, just contact Mrs. Scrutro in room 102 for information and details. French Club will meet today in room 3 at 2:40 p.m. Applications are available in the main office for the Union County Sheriff Office Youth Police Academy. Don't miss out on this great opportunity. Seniors, graduation will be here before you know it. Make sure you complete the project graduation survey and order the PTSA lawn sign. Once in a while, there's a chance to bring you some good news, and that's what we have for you now. Down in South Jersey, two very special births occurred in the last few weeks, and many people are very happy. Callie has that report.
The Cape May County Zoo on Wednesday announced the birth of two Grant zebra foals born weeks apart. A first-time mom named Lydia gave birth to a healthy female foal on April 16th at the zoo in Cape May Courthouse, according to a news release from the facility. Lydia has been an excellent mother, and her foal is strong and growing quickly, Dr. Alex Ernst, associate veterinarian at the zoo, said. Another zebra foal was born May 7th to mom Greta. Both mother and baby were reported to be doing well, Ernst said. Both foals weighed about 50 to 60 pounds at birth and can run within hours of being born, according to the zoo. The zoo is thriving, and we couldn't be more pleased to welcome two zebra foals to our zoo family, Cape May County Commissioner E. Marie Hayes said in a statement. Grant zebras are the smallest of 7 subspecies of the plains zebra, according to the zoo. The zoo also announced it will host Conservation Day on May 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will include staff showcasing efforts to save animal species in the wild.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl Mazus for CNN. The United States imports more goods from China than any other nation. Between 18 and 19% of the goods brought into America come from China. The Asian country's been the world's largest exporter of goods since 2009, according to Investopedia. It's known as the world's factory. China is able to make things at lower cost than other countries, and that can result in lower prices people have to pay. But the downside is that when there are supply problems in China, like there are now, they can ripple around the world. We've reported on the communist country's strict zero-COVID policy. While other nations have moved toward living with the virus, China continues to apply large-scale lockdowns and mass testing policies whenever cases are detected. The country says this policy, quote, puts life first, and that it's effective at keeping coronavirus from spreading. But critics say it goes too far, that it's hurting that country socially and economically, and that it's time for China to change it. Right now, there's either a full or partial lockdown in more than 30 Chinese cities. As many as 214 million people have been affected. There's no sign China will make any changes, and with strict containment rules in place in cities like Shanghai, which is China's financial center, manufacturing output is only a fraction of what it normally is, and unused factories have been turned into quarantine centers. Despite protests from some Chinese workers, what this means for businesses that are oceans away is that wait times for products are months longer than usual. Companies from Apple to General Electric say supply problems in China are hurting businesses in America, and some small companies that depend on China to make their goods are afraid of going out of business. Prices on Chinese products are expected to rise around the world. Some experts predict that Chinese supply chain problems could get worse this year than they were in 2021, and that businesses may look to manufacture their products in other countries. 10-second trivia. What is the lightest metal on Earth? Titanium, lithium, aluminum, or magnesium? Of all the metals, lithium is the lightest. Of all the cars, SUVs, and trucks in America, less than 1% of them are electric. That's according to the Reuters news agency. But the U.S. government says sales of electric and hybrid cars are growing, almost doubling from 308,000 in 2020 to 608,000 in 2021. Like gas-powered vehicles, they have their pros and cons. Electrics are less pollutive to drive than other cars, and you can charge them at home without going to the gas station. But charging stations are generally harder to find, and it takes a lot longer to charge an EV than it does to gas up an internal combustion engine. EVs are quieter and require less maintenance, but they're more expensive to buy, and their battery packs are expensive to replace, while it's far less likely you'd replace the engine of a gas-powered car. Still, with sales on the rise, one thing electric car makers need is lithium. It's the lightest of the metals and a crucial part of the batteries for computers, smartphones, and electric cars, but mining and refining lithium can threaten the natural environment and contribute to pollution. So there's a trade-off there.
8,000 feet beneath my feet, there's enough lithium to power America's electric car industry into the foreseeable future.
There is a treasure potentially worth billions of dollars.
He takes us to a remote part of California near the border with Mexico.
In a billion-dollar project promising to transform this region.
Now, what some people are calling California's Lithium Valley is an economic and environmental wasteland. But it could be on the cusp of a boom like this area hasn't seen in 60 years. It's not like there was any big secret. It's not like people didn't know there was lithium in the groundwater here before. It just wasn't worth enough to bother getting it out. But now, with lithium prices going through the roof, companies that before were just concentrating on geothermal energy are seeing even more potential in the metal that's in the water. Geothermal companies like Energy Source, that has operations in the southern tip of the Salton Sea and is modifying its facilities for lithium extraction. Why is there so much lithium in the ground here?
So geologically, this is an interesting place. Colorado River has canyons in the west. All of that mineral, all of those deposits have made their way here.
I have heard that there is theoretically at least enough lithium in this area to supply all the electric cars in America for some time.
There certainly is a lot of lithium potential here at the Salton Sea. You could calculate approximately a little over 100,000 tons per year of lithium battery products. That's quite a lot, and certainly more than the U.S. consumes right at the moment. I think there's a realistic opportunity to potentially double that.
Geothermal facilities will use a method of extraction where they will both create geothermal power and collect the valuable lithium from the hot brine deep below. This involves drawing the lithium from the brine after it has completed its journey to help produce electricity. It's clean energy making clean energy, and the kind of investment and opportunity that could transform a region that only a half century ago was full of such promise.
This is the story of the miracle sea in the desert, the Salton Sea.
If you came here during the 50s and 60s, you will find most likely people from Hollywood, the luminaries from Southern California coming to boat and playing golf. And only 50 years later, this is what we have. It went from being the Western Riviera to being one of the worst nightmares, environmentally and public health-wise.
What happened?
We started losing water. The water became more saline. There were massive fish die-offs. We have more water being evaporated, leaving more salt behind and other elements. The sea is an example of what is happening pretty much all around the West.
While the geothermal companies are ramping up testing and facilities for regular lithium production, automakers from around the country are visiting the area and staking claim.
The automaker says it plans to be carbon neutral by 2040.
If automakers hope to fulfill their EV ambitions over the next decade, some, like General Motors, are cutting deals with local geothermal companies as a way to ensure their lithium supply chains.
Maryboro's leadership and more the sustainability side and localising of minerals per the federal administration really advanced that relationship. So, stage one is a 20,000 tonne per year lithium hydroxide facility, which will go to General Motors. And beyond stage one, we're looking at another 100,000 for stage two.
And you would then ship that to a battery manufacturer?
Yes, so at the moment there's no real sort of precursor or cathode manufacturers in the United States. So currently that would be the case, which is a bit of a crying shame. I mean, to put it on a truck, put it on a ship, send it to South Korea or China, and then send it back as a cathode active material. The opportunity really is the blank canvas out here to co-locate those facilities would make commercial sense.
And that opportunity is quickly being fulfilled. Already, Italvolt has announced plans to build a massive battery production facility in the valley that could supply batteries for up to 650,000 EVs a year and create possibly 2,500 jobs in the area. What are your fears in terms of if it's not done right? How could it be done wrong?
Not being able to provide the benefits, they claim to, or at least, they're promising to provide, and the kind of jobs, for the community. Direct and indirect benefits to the Salton Sea. If all the conditions are played correctly, this can be really good for the economy. This can be really good for the region. Nationwide, it can be a catalyst. If it is done right, it can be really good.
Launching a rocket typically takes a lot of fuel. What if instead of blasting off, you were to spin the rocket around and around so fast that you could then fling it toward space? That's the idea behind Spin Launch, a startup company that uses a centrifuge, a sort of high-tech slingshot, to get a rocket up to 5,000 miles per hour and then release it. After it's in the sky is when its engines would fire up and carry it to suborbital space. If this gets off the ground, so to speak, the company hopes it'll be a lower cost launch option. So is this the centrifuture of space travel? When it gets up to speed, will folks one day say, "May the centripetal force be with you"? Or is it a slingshot in the dark that makes heads spin but otherwise fails to catapult changes in Star Treks? It's certainly space food for thought on your launch break. I'm Carl Azus. You, or some of you anyway, are watching from Derby, Vermont. Shout out to North Country Union Junior High School. We will fling another show your way tomorrow.